Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you 3 gluten-free meals that I made for my family this week. So the first meal is going to be a pork loin, and with it, this is some lima beans that I had put up in the freezer from our last year's garden, and I'm just seasoning it with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a chicken bouillon cube. I always like to put a bouillon cube in my beans because it gives it a lot of flavor. Anyway, I like to use tin foil when I'm cooking pork because when you wrap it around the pork, it keeps it kind of moist. And I'm just using a Smithfield pre-marinated pork loin. I'm going to cut it out of the package, put it in here, and then I'm going to put a little bit of chicken broth in there to help keep it moist. And then I'm going to also put some potatoes in there, and I'll show you how I season those here in just a minute.
I'll follow you through the black and the blue. Whatever the mountain, we'll climb to the next. Honey, I'm with you through life and to death. You're afraid. I wish you could see that. I think you're brave. And if it all
Okay, so for the potatoes, I'm about to show you what I use. I used salt, I used garlic and herb seasoning, and I used rosemary. And I just stirred it all up, and then we're going to put it in the pot with the pork loin and bake it on 350 for about 45 minutes.
We'll fix these mistakes. Wherever you're going, I'm going. I'll follow you through the black and the blue, whatever the...
Alright, as you can see, our lima beans have come to a boil, so I'm just going to give that a quick stir to try to put some of that seasoning that you see on top back in the midst of it all, and then we're going to turn it down and just let it simmer until everything else is ready. So these cucumbers were fresh from our garden, and the tomato was fresh from a local farmer's market, and they were both absolutely delicious. I'm really proud of my cucumbers this year. They're growing really well, and they taste delicious. I love this time of year because of all of the fresh, crisp vegetables. And this would be the finished product. This was a really easy, really delicious meal.
To the next. Honey, I'm with you through life and
Okay, so I'm kind of mad at myself for choosing to do 2 pork recipes in this video. I could have made it a little bit more, I don't know, diversified, but it is what it is. So we have these boneless pork chops. We're going to cook with the same method that we did the pork loin with the tin foil. And to season it, I used Himalayan pink salt. I used garlic and herb seasoning. I used cracked black pepper and Tony's seasoning. And I seasoned both sides really well. Add a little bit of water in there to keep it moist. Wrap it up in the tin foil and then pop it in the oven at 350 for 30 to 40 minutes. It just depends on how you like your pork.
show me what it's like to be circling among the clouds.
Okay, so to go with our pork chops, I am doing some fresh broccoli. This broccoli came out of my dad's garden. This is the first time he's ever grown it, and as you can see, it's doing really well. So for this, I'm just putting the broccoli in here, and I'm gonna put some butter on top of it and stick it in the oven and let it steam for a little bit. Probably about 20 minutes is good, and then I'm gonna pull it out and put cheese on it. and let the cheese melt all over it, and this turned out so good.
And I just wanted to say that you can take me.
Okay, so also to go with this, I'm cheating a little bit, and I'm using Annie's gluten-free macaroni and cheese. And as we all know, for macaroni and cheese, you got to boil the pasta first. So that's what we're doing.
You can take me high. I can see the sun.
All right, these are some sweet potatoes that me and my dad canned, and I love them because it's so easy to cook. It doesn't take long at all because they're basically already cooked. So all you have to do is drain the water out, and then I put them in a little pan, stick them in the oven until they're hot all the way through, and then I just add a stick of butter and stir it all up, and they're delicious. Quick, easy, delicious, saves a lot of time, and it's not super processed like you would get if you got it from the grocery store already in a can.
Feels like I can fly. I don't need anybody. I don't need anybody else. No one will ever take me. No one will ever take me away from you. I promise I will hold on to you. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Okay, so I pulled the pork out to check and see if it was done, and I'm really sketchy with meat. You can see there's a little bit of pink and it made me nervous. So I put it back in for like 10 more minutes to cook, and this is how it turned out. The end result, it was so good and pretty healthy for the most part.
Feels like I can fly.
Okay, so for this next recipe, I failed you guys. I'm pretty sure that I filmed a lot of this. I just can't find the footage. But this meal is going to be barbecue sausage and chicken stir fry. So one of the sides that I'm doing is I'm cutting up some squash and some zucchini fresh from the garden. The zucchini came from my garden and the squash came from my grandparents' garden, and I'm going to season them up really good with salt and pepper, and I think I used Tony's seasoning, and stick them in the oven until they're done. The sausage and chicken, I put it in the pot and let it cook just a little bit, but not all the way through before I put the barbecue sauce in. And then I just stir it up and let it simmer until it's fully cooked and marinated really good in the barbecue sauce. The green beans next to it were fresh from my dad's garden, and they were absolutely delicious. I seasoned them with beef bouillon, salt and pepper, and garlic powder. And then the cream of corn was also fresh from the garden, and I just put a little stick of butter in there for seasoning. When the squash and zucchini came out, I sprinkled some cheese all over it, and the end result was absolutely delicious. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. Love talking to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Bye.
You can take me high.